First of all, every country is different. There's no cookie cutter approach. Greece is different from Ireland, Ireland from Portugal, Portugal from Spain, and certainly all of them different from Italy. The one constant in everything is contagion. And when I tried to tell Euro leaders 2 years ago at the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2010 that they'd better move quickly on Greece, and I also mentioned this to Prime Minister Papandreou, because if not, contagion could spread very rapidly. But they were in denial. They said, oh, this is different. Problem with you, Bill, is you've been dealing with Latin America and Asia. These are emerging markets. We're mature economies. We can settle our problems very rapidly. We don't need any lessons learned from the emerging markets. And of course, unfortunately, I was right. They were in denial. These are politicians, central bank heads, bankers, the bureaucrats in Brussels. They thought they could control it very easily. The timing is everything. You only have so much time to work in a crisis because the clock works against you. And of course, again, I tried to mention that. And the European leadership thought they had all the time in the world to solve these problems. If you want a program to succeed, it has to be a program not just of austerity. You have to have growth at the end of the tunnel. You have to convince the population of a country that any of these tough reform austerity measures they're taking on will lead to growth, because otherwise the population won't back it. And this has been a big problem, particularly in Greece, because all they see is 3 years of negative growth, another year of perhaps negative growth next year, and so they don't see what's in it for them. I guess a final point would be you need to get the private sector involved at the very outset, because usually the private sector holds most of the debt, and which is the case in Europe. Of course, the European Central Bank has been buying up that debt, but basically it was mostly held by the private sector. And to get the countries back into the market at reasonable rates, because they're in the market, a lot of these countries, but the rates are prohibitive and they can't continue to pay them, you've got to have the cooperation of the private sector.